And now, the show you've been waiting for. From Channels TV's global headquarters, it's The Other News. And here's your host, Okey Bakassi.
Yeah. Welcome to a brand new episode of The Other News. At The Other News, we poke fun at those poking fun at Nigeria's potential for greatness. If we don't poke fun at them now, who will? Who will? Well, get set for a fun-filled episode tonight. My guest is one of Nigeria's most cerebral comedians. Ladies and gentlemen, Kunle Idowu, a.k.a. Frank Donga, is in the building! All right, later on the show, our correspondents, SLK, Binta, and then the Humorous will be spitting bars and turn it up in style. All that and more. But first, as always, it's the other news headlines. Minister of State for Education, Professor Anthony Anwoka, on behalf of President Buhari, has revealed that although a university degree might help graduates face challenges in life, it does not necessarily serve as an assurance for employment. Okay. Boo for talk am since now. If that's the case, no need for university since we are all graduates of Niger Hardship University. With courses like blackout, survival, poor health care 101, and all those courses. We are now more than qualified to face life's challenges. No need for uni. Anyway, Governor of Kano State, Ganduje, has ignored a subsisting court order restraining the government from implementing actions aimed at legitimizing new emirates in the state by inaugurating 4 new first-class emirs. Maybe the 4 new emirates might not improve the employment rate for 3 million people in Kano, but at least they tell us that sew this special attire can now sing, "I don't get a lot, go do we." Anyway, since everybody is ignoring laws these days, maybe they should start ignoring the law of immunity for some people. Yeah, you get it. Anyway, now that embattled Emir of Kano, Muhammad Sanusi II, has returned from Saudi Arabia to cheers of support from the people of Kano, we might as well turn this drama between the governor and the Emir into a TV show. But instead of returning from Saudi Arabia with a plane, Sanusi can return on a fire-spitting dragon. We could even call the show Game of Emirates. The new Emirates have been declared null and void for now. So, now to keep watching. You never can tell. The Economic Confidential has disclosed that 17 Nigerian states are insolvent as their internally generated revenues have fallen far below 10% of their receipt from the federation accounts, allocations. So as a result, the other news marketing strategists have advised some of those states to change their slogans for now. Yeah, for example, the Eastern Heartland can change its slogan to the Eastern Heartbreak. Yeah. And the Food Basket of the Nation can change its slogan to buy food, get the basket free. Yeah. And the Fountain of Knowledge can change its slogan to Well of Indebtedness and Liability. You're welcome. You can thank me later. Yeah. Nigerians are celebrating the 16th birthday of abducted Dapchi schoolgirl Leah Sharibu. This celebration has been marked by protests demanding the federal government ensure her safe release from the captivity of Boko Haram, who have allegedly refused to release her because she refused to deny her Christian faith. I pray she returns safe and sound. And hopefully, by her example, our leaders will learn to refuse to deny those accusations and allegations, allegedly. And now to one particular matter. When a person hears, "Oh yeah, show me your particulars," there are usually 2 options. Option A, you show your particulars. Option B.
Senator Adeleke was arraigned before the court today after he was taken into custody by the police on Monday on fresh charges of forgery.
You show up! Woo! A public officer with questionable particulars? Where have I seen this before? Oh yes, Auntie K with her K-leg particulars. But Auntie K, not only you waka come, chai.
Did you graduate from Harvard?
Anyway,
like you mentioned, you said you have 7 degrees altogether.
Anyway, before I...
Do you have 7 degrees?
I'm coming, I will respond to you.
Oh yes, and respond he did.
Is
there no one else? Chai! Even boo-boo. Baba. Yes, he was vindicated. But as a country, why do we have this certificate scandal issue on repeat? Like students we know sabi book. Is it me? Or is Nigeria like that guy who has to look for his black goat in the dark of the night? Because during the day he was busy. You see, while our mates in other countries look for their own political scapegoats in the day, here, it is at night, after person don't take for office, that they will now shine torch on the matter and say, license and registration, please. YS certificate, please. Can we see your NYSC, please? Where's your Harvard certificate, please? Now, wow. Even our ancestors knew how to vet people before marriage. But nowadays, no. That's how we saw Bubu in uniform and Agbada before we saw his WAEC result. Former CJ Nonoe. Now 2005 matter implicator. Salisu Buhari, yeah, you remember that one? Yeah, said his degree was from University of Toronto. But it was after he was the 4th most powerful man in Nigeria that we realized he meant University of where he learned to lie in flying colors. Chai, the weakest vetting process for the strongest positions. Anyway, at least, thank God that the people vetting our politicians are not the ones vetting doctors and pilots. Because that is when you hear of doctors using vitamin C to cure headache. And pilots that are afraid of heights. Honorable vetters. Now beg with the beggar. Please. Search for these goats in the day so that at night, instead of asking where are your particulars, we can think of solutions to more pressing questions. Like, who rigged that electoral? How much is pizza from London? Or how big was the snake that swallowed the money? See, honestly, with the way things are going, we will continue using torchlights to look for black goats, and our political system will continue to look like this. That is too many people rushing to nowhere. We might even end up with a president from China. Which way, Nigeria? Anyway, for more on this, we turn to our better safe than sorry correspondent, SLK. SLK, you're welcome.
Thank you, okay.
So it appears that the Nigerian police force is taking this prevention is better than cure thing quite seriously.
Yes, so the Nigerian police force, they've even decided to give Nigerians tips, which is quite ironic, considering the fact that we're usually the ones that give police tips.
I see where you're going to with that one.
Yes.
So you came with some of the tips?
Yes, I have them here. Tip number 1. You know the thing about this one? It just goes to show that you can't collect money from a moving vehicle. So that's why they want you to slow down. They are not like all those plantain chip sellers at traffic lights that will just those ones. They are respectable citizens. They want you to slow down. Okay. Yeah. Tip number 2. Okay, this one is true. This one can actually put you in trouble.
How?
It's simple now. Okay, let's do a drama. Kani, you are the police officer. Kani, I'm the driver. So you ask me for my particulars after. Okay. Officer, good morning.
How are you? Can I see your particulars? Wait, my father. Oh, yeah, park. Pack up, my friend, pack, you're under arrest. What is wrong with you?
See me see wahala, I don't enter yawa. That's how you enter the yawa. So you understand how
I
to
get
put
that
your
one.
hair.
I get that one. Yeah.
Then the third one. You should never do this. Never. Always make your hand visible so that they won't think you are bringing. Except of course they ask you anything for the boys, then you will need to. I don't want. They won't do anything to you. They don't need to see your hands then. Yes. Then this one baffled me. So we are mirrors now. Mirror, mirror on the road. Hope your gun won't accidentally explode. Hey! So, okay, that means anything I do, they will do. Kani, you are officer, okay? I'm driving, you stop me.
Okay.
So I'm smiling at you, you're supposed to smile back at me now. Good morning, officer.
Good morning, sir.
You look very good today, officer.
Yeah, you look good too, sir. So I get it now. Anyway, anything for you boys?
Anything for the boys?
No, I mean anything for the boys.
No, I mean anything for the boys.
No, enough of the drama now. Can we?
Enough of the drama now. Can we?
Your drama is over.
Yes, your drama is over.
You cannot leave this
You
place.
can now leave this place.
Are you okay?
Are you SLK?
My guest tonight is a jack of many trades and master of many. He's an agricultural scientist, media expert, photographer, and a famous comedian. Ladies and gentlemen, help me give a warm welcome to my friend, Kunle Idowu, a.k.a. Frank Donga is in the building.
Good to see you, sir.
Frank, good to have you on this show.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
We're live, I mean. They don't do.
Yeah, we are, yes. We are not just live, we are alive.
Just like that.
Yes.
That's the most important.
Yeah, that's the most important one. So, was it the state of your passion or the state of the economy that caused the movement from agricultural science to comedy and entertainment?
That's a deep question. The two states kind of merged into one.
And became one
federal state. Because I've always been passionate about agriculture. I love production. I grew up watching documentaries on agriculture, so that kind of influenced me. I love life sciences. But then again, I went to school, studied agriculture, did my master's in genetics, and but along the line, I discovered I also love to see people smile, see people happy. And I thought, two things in life that people that are alive want to experience. Want to eat. When you eat and you are belly full, you smile. Yeah. When you see joke, you smile. Even if you are not eating, you manage to, at least I'm alive. Yeah. So I kind of almost stumbled into what I do now accidentally, but both of them I'm very passionate about.
Yeah, but seeing how, people migrate from one area of training to another area of practice, most times we know that in Nigeria, the economy has something to do, with it. So how is the economy of this country affecting young professionals?
It's affecting them a lot. I'm not proud or happy to say it's affecting them in more ways than positive. It's not very positive. Because, look at it, when you spend so much time and money and energy going to school to study a particular course, but probably you're passionate about, then you come out, you realize the prospects for making a living out of that profession, it's not very bright. For example, my profession, agriculture, agriculture is a very fantastic field, but if you don't have enough financial backbone.
By the way, it's the same thing I studied.
Hey, you're a farmer. Wearing tie.
I read agricultural engineering.
You're a farmer, sir.
Yes.
Nice to meet you. We'll meet on the farm.
We'll meet.
So it's a very serious issue when people go to study what they're naturally passionate about or cut out for, but then the reality of life hits them like a 10-ton truck in the face. When they come out, they realize the structures are not there, the opportunities are not very abundant, and you have to readdress and re-strategize and rethink, okay, what can I do to make the best of whatever? You begin to look at your talent, what can I do? I can, make people laugh, I can create things with my hands, I can, create music.
So in some ways, the economy forces you to rediscover yourself.
It helps you to rediscover yourself.
All right, you guys, you cannot move because we are just starting. Frank and I, it's going to be fun, I promise. But let us look into what our correspondents are doing when we take this break. We'll be back. Yeah, something special is still coming your way, can't see the other news. But I must continue this fantastic interview with Kunle Idowu. A comedian is now president of Ukraine. Yes. How easy is it for a comedian in Nigeria to become president of Nigeria?
That kind of question is very easy, sir. Very easy. I mean, like, if you look at the scenario now, a lot of professional politicians are jokers. So, why can't we have a lot of professional jokers as politicians? So we just exchange positions. They're already doing the job. They're already doing our job. We can do their job. You know?
So we can safely say that Nigerian comedians are already in power. Yeah.
They are holding it down.
Yes, they are holding it down.
Yes.
Be that the National Assembly dancing or singing.
There is nothing more powerful than the power of laughter.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't go to a comedy show, you can check on the political news sometimes. You know, you scroll through, you see one or two things that make you go, ah.
There's another challenge that I know comics face, which is that of being taken seriously. You know, especially when you're very successful. And for a man like you, you've been successful both online and the movies and what you do. Yes, I know that. Yeah. You can't even pretend that you don't know. Okay, so you've been very successful at what you do. And with the kind of expression that you have, people just see you and they crack up. How do you convince somebody that you're serious?
You can't. I told you.
So how do you cope? Because there are times that, I mean, it can be frustrating sometimes.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. It comes with the job.
Yeah.
It's like being a pilot, I guess. You know, it's not uncommon for people to run into you at the pilot. Take me to America now. It looks funny to them, but I've never seen somebody walk up to a doctor and say, give me injection. I know they won't say that. You know, but comics make me laugh. You know, and then when you say something, is it serious? Especially if you are the sarcastic type, your comedy is based on sarcasm, heavy sarcasm. You are not really sure, and if you're not the smiley type that laughs at your own material, it's kind of hard for people to decipher. Is he being serious right now? Is it, you know? Even me, I know they know at times.
Now that the president has, you know, let us know that weight loss is a sign of hard work, you know, because, I mean, due to the insecurity in the country, our president said the IG is losing weight. That means he's working hard.
Yes.
So do we assume that because you're not on the bulky side, you've been working so hard?
That goes without saying. Everybody that looks at me know I'm a perpetual hard worker. I back by that formula.
Following that formula.
I think it's a good thing, though. We need to look on the brighter side. And a lot of people are upset. How dare you? You know, social media was, you know, swarmed with reactions. How can you say something like that? Is weight loss a KPI, you know, to check people? But let's look at it this way. So that simply means if you want to find out the senators that are not working, just look at their front and back. And yeah, you give them letter.
I say, okay, we are not going to elect you. We sent you to the National Assembly for 8 years. You added weight.
Put scale on them before they go. When they come back, how much do you weigh? Okay? No, you can't go again. Next person.
You're not going again.
You can't go.
You're not working. All right, Frank, looking at this country, you've been around here for a long time. If you had the opportunity to change one thing, what would that thing be?
Electricity. Power.
Everybody wants to change power. Yeah, because we all know.
Yeah, man.
Frank, it's been nice transmitting this transmission with you.
You have transmitted well.
Don't go anywhere. It's still the other news and we are here for you. Yeah, with the 2015-2019 ministerial tenure coming to an end and President Buhari's ministerial valedictory session scheduled for the 22nd of May, our prize-giving correspondents Dan and Binta have decided to put together their own special something. See my correspondents looking so...
Thank you, okay. It's our pleasure to welcome you all to the Other News Ministerial Award.
That's right, and tonight we'll be crowning efforts made by ministers of the change era even as we move to the next level. All right, our first awardee for tonight anyway, he hails from the tribe and state of our globally accepted importers and exporters, as he has certified the exporting of our doctors or doctors.
Well, looks like we have a tie, Dan.
Don't mean it.
Yes. Well, still in the category of exporting our doctors, the Minister of Labour and the Minister for Health.
Woo! Well, the Minister for Labour promised to be here tonight. He had taken his bath, even rubbed roll-on, everything, only to come out, but his residence was picketed by Labour.
Oh,
so,
sad.
Couldn't make it.
Yeah. Okay, Dan, the next award.
That's right. They said that somebody can be jack of all trade and master of none. But this awardee right here has broken that jinx, as he has proven to be jack of 3 trades and master of 1 or 2.
And the jack of all, master of 1 or 2 award goes to
Super Minister of Power, Works and Housing. Even the ministry is a sentence. Unfortunately, he couldn't make it here tonight due to some electrical shocks as a result of the works from his house. You see the relationship? Congratulations.
Sir.
That's right. And this is hoping that you will be the master of at least the powerful trade amongst your 3 trades.
Okay, now we have the LED Award, sponsored by 2B and HB Pencils made in Niger for the progressive acceleration of technology and innovation. And the award goes to the minister with a ₦1 billion smile.
All white, everything, red cap chief wearing from the East Coast.
Dr. Ogbonnaya Onu.
Wow, he couldn't have made it tonight. He promised to be here, but gave us a call that he's busy moving to the next level from 2B pencils to 3D, 4D, and double D pencils. Yeah, the next award goes to... Usher, are they picketing you too? The next award goes to the coach of the year. No, it's not a sports minister. This goes to ministers who are putting their agencies and staff under them in the best striking position. Striking even better than Messi and Ronaldo put together.
And at short notice.
On a short notice too. They deliver.
And the award goes to Minister of Education, Malam Adamu and Minister of Health, Professor Isaac Adewale.
Wow, the Minister of Health seems to be the Davido of tonight, just featuring in different awards. 2
awards.
for tonight.
Yes.
Keep
Well
going.
done,
Keep it going.
Well done, sir.
All right.
Dan, you're taking the next one.
That's right. And what is the next award called, Binta?
It's called the Amaka Award.
The recipient of this award said he will give us refineries or resignation. And we can never see the refineries. So allow me to introduce to you our recipient with the soundtrack of this award. Kachiko disappoint me. Where the refinery? Kachiko disappoint me. Inyaneke refinery. Dr. Ibe Kachiko. Or like our British friends will say, Dr. Ibe. Anyway.
Okay, Dan. The next award is the prize for invisibility.
That's right. And the recipient of this award might be making moves, could be making moves, should be making moves. But so far, these moves are invisible.
And the award goes to Minister of Water Resources, Walter Rocco.
Walter. Yeah. That's not the minister's name.
We don't even know his name.
Neither do we know it. But we know there's a ministry, there's a minister, we know there's a work somewhere. God will help us. Anyway, for those of you who weren't mentioned in this edition of this ceremony, it doesn't mean that you did good or bad. It's just that you didn't just fall into our scope. But we are watching. We are watching you. As long as we have this job, we'll be back with this ceremony.
Definitely. And this brings us to the end of the Next Level Award ceremony, even as we await the President's valedictory session.
That's what's up.
So, till next time,
We will see you.
over to you, okay?
Take it! Take it! Like, take it!
Yeah, thank you, Binta. Thank you, Dan. I'm sure our ministers are grateful. This brings us to the end of tonight's episode. But no worries. You can watch more of the other news by following us on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at the other news CTV. Also, to be part of our live audience, just call the numbers showing on your screen. Our people say those who are not part of the solution, they are part of the problem. My name is Okey. Be the change you want to see. Thank you so very much.